Guys, welcome to another almost famous radio podcast show where each day, almost it seems, I shot 3 shows today, just today. Each time I get on here, it's such a privilege and an honor because I always have wonderful stories to tell. This one is one for the ages. I promise you, it's epic. It's going to be epic on many, 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 many fronts. Number one, because we have two special guests today, two, and it's unreal because one of them is really going to trip you out. She's unbelievable. She's then part of a film. Let me just break it down. So, my next guest, okay, she's talking about Deja Vu trilogy, and that's what she's promoting right now. There's a trilogy she has of films, and she has one great film that from the trilogy that she's going to talk about, the Conundrum of Cassie, I believe. And part of this film, as I understand, this certain character that's here with us also happens to be a part of every step of the way. She's a director, producer, an award-winning director, producer, and actress. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my utmost honor to introduce to you Cybela Clare
Hi,
and the one and only Rainbow.
Baby Rainbow.
Baby Rainbow.
Her character is called Rainbow, but her name is Baby Rainbow.
But she's unbelievable. I can already. You like to be here, huh? On camera? Yes?
She's a diva. She's the star and I'm her sidekick. Okay, that's the way it usually is.
I am beyond thrilled because you've done quite a bit, an extensive career, lots of, you have films, in over 138 countries have seen your stuff, right? Your movies.
183.
183. Mm-hmm. And it's unreal because you have now set out to you're filming aren't you filming a trilogy right now, a Deja Vu trilogy? But you have one movie that's out, right?
Really, yeah. And we're putting the second one out first and we're putting the first one out as a prequel, okay? Because the second one is just so pure funny and it's like the end of summer. So I was just advised by my distributor, that's what we should put out first. And the second one is really going to be about how Cassie, the character in the Conundrum of Cassie, the prequel to her, how she was born, and it's really born out of reincarnation from another person who was murdered. So it's really interesting. So that's going to be the second film, but it's really the first one, and that's coming in October. This is coming at the Cinema Village in September, on the 19th of September, and the other one is at the same theater in New York in the 17th of October, and that's going to be Deja Vu, the Peril of Pauline. And the third one of the trilogy, we are still shooting right now as I speak every day, and it will come out next year. So.
Holy Mother of God! It sounds like you're busy.
Yeah.
Too busy. When do you find time to sleep?
Not much. And I sleep with her. She sleeps with me cheek to beak every night on my pillow. Every night. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
She hates getting up in the morning. She just hates it.
Don't we all?
She's the most affectionate. She's like a little puppy. She's very, very
puppy. Mm-hmm. Oh, I know a thing or two about puppies. We got one pug. We got a baby pug.
You do?
Yeah.
She loves dogs too. She loves puppies too. She's very affectionate with dogs.
He's running amok in the house. It's insane.
Oh, really?
Tearing everything up. We're trying to get it. My wife's like, we need to get new furniture. I'm like, I doubt it's going to happen for the next few weeks or months.
You got to get her things to tear up. Special little stuffed animals that she can tear up. That's what I got for baby.
Okay.
She carries them around everywhere.
That's actually a great idea. I'm going to tell her that because we're not used to having babies. You know, the other dog we had, we got our first pug, Buddha. We got him when he was a little older. So we had no idea we were in for. San Diego, the lady goes, bye. Looked at me, I'm like, wow.
She was glad to give us
what's to come. It was really eerie.
I'm so happy you're taking her dog.
Let me ask you. Well, so what made you first want to be a filmmaker?
Well, I think it just happened because I've always been, from when I was a little kid, I was doing shows for my parents in the living room, right? And playing, doing different characters. And then in school, the same thing. And in summer camps, the same thing. And then I had these, different animals and I wanted to put words in their mouth and have comedy stuff with these animals. So I started, I actually went to a meeting of Sony and I convinced them to lend me some equipment. And I wrote them about all their new equipment, how I liked it, what I was doing. And so I started making little videos, little by little by little, and put words into the mouths of these little birds, cockatoos and things. And so they loved what I did, and they gave it to their children out in New Jersey. That was the Sony Corporation that made the cameras and stuff. So then they gave me more and more and more equipment for free because they liked the letters I wrote them. And then they gave me editing equipment, really expensive editing equipment, incredible. So I learned how to edit. And then from then on, I just made more and more stuff, and it just got bigger and bigger. And then because of my interest in UFOs, and that's a whole other thing, I started going to these UFO conferences and filming all these witnesses and whistleblowers from the government. And it just spiraled, and all those people that were in those conferences became very famous. It was funny because the people that were the experts about UFOs and the experiencers who had been abducted, et cetera, they ended up becoming experts on the History Channel in this very famous show called Ancient Aliens. And all those people now are super famous, and they're all working for me for free in all my movies. They're all willing to let me interview them, and they're just my friends now. So it was quite lucky. I didn't know that was going to happen. So I ended up making more and more. Thank you. I was lucky, really.
Kudos to you. Yeah. Question for you. We could delve into the subject matter, which is fascinating, by the way. Have you ever met or had an encounter, like an extraterrestrial encounter?
Not that I know of, but I do believe the people who have. I don't think they have any reason to lie. A lot of these people were not believed for a long time. I think they're becoming more credible as more and more information comes out. I think there are so many witnesses now that I think.
And I strongly believe it. There's no need for it's been out and about for a while now. It's a secret that's amply out there, and everybody knows about it. So
the government didn't want anyone to know about it for many years because they're using the technology, and they're trying to reverse engineer the technology for all sorts of reasons, for military use and all sorts of things. So between the Russians and the Americans, everybody was competing. So it was top secret that even existed. That's really a lot of the reason.
It begs the question, and I'm going to ask you, do you believe, and I think I have the answer, but I wanted to hear it from you. Do you believe that we landed on the moon?
I actually do believe that we easily could have landed on the moon. Technologically, it's definitely possible. There have been a lot of conspiracy theories about it, but that's not where I've never specialized in really studying that particular one event. So,
but do you think, because you mentioned competition between Russia and the United States,
let me tell you this about. There was a video called Extraterrestrial Archaeology by David Hatcher Childress, and he's a pretty amazing UFO expert. And if you saw his video, Extraterrestrial Archaeology, it talks about all the different things that were seen on the moon and all these vacuum cleaner like things that were coming in to try to clean. It was really wild, and had to do with the Russians being on the moon, the Americans being on the moon, the extraterrestrial civilizations being on the moon. And it actually showed a lot of physical evidence of all three. So that I do believe there have been a lot of different beings and civilizations that have visited the moon. Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. It's a different angle. I hadn't heard that before. If you were to meet an extraterrestrial right now, okay, let's say you walked out of your studio and you met one out in the back somewhere. What's the first question you'd ask, or comment, or maybe even?
You really want to know?
Yeah.
What would you like for dinner? What would you like to eat for dinner? Because they're very different from us, and I would like to know what their food choices would be and how they ingest, because I think they do get a lot of food through their skin. But I also heard from a lot of the people that I work with over the years with my series that the underground bases, they were feeding them. Their favorite thing was strawberry ice cream. That is so weird, right? They love strawberry ice cream. That's what I heard.
Really?
So I would like to know if they do eat, what other things they would like. What
do they say? You're looking at my next meal.
No, I don't think so. I think they eat more like liquid things, more like salt. Yeah.
I agree with you. I find that I personally haven't, but there's been many a times I live in Woodland Hills in the Valley, and out here at night, I mean, you'd be surprised. Sometimes you don't know what's what, nowadays with all the different gizmos that the kids are flying around. You're not quite sure what to make of it. And there's been times where you see these like prolonged lights, like lasers of sorts.
Right.
And I could have very well have seen something go by, rocket
You
speed.
could. Really could.
Um, you know, you obviously you're in the business of going out there and and getting in the wild with the wild animals, exotic animals, and all that sort of stuff, and you help like save animals, and that's beautiful. You're in, you ever been scared?
Never. Not of animals. I'm
Really?
scared of people, but not animals at all. You know, I went to Thailand, and my
Yeah.
first experience has been with these incredible elephants. They're very soulful. I swam in the river with a 105-year-old elephant named Bowie. And it's interesting because they say elephants and parrots live to over 100 if they're treated right in captivity. Because the elephants, what I've heard, and maybe I'm wrong, but is that the reason they often die around 65 out in Africa in the wild is because their teeth just they get ground down and they can't chew
Right.
the foliage anymore at a certain point. But in these rescues in Thailand, they feed these elephants oatmeal and cream of wheat and grits and all these wonderful soft cereals every day, and they live to over 100. It's incredible, and they're so loving and so soulful. And my experience with these elephants was beyond the beyond. I can't even tell you how much I love
It's
elephants.
otherworldly, right? I'm sure.
Yeah, they're
Uh,
beyond humans as far as compassion and almost psychic understanding. They just have intuition and they feel you, they understand you, they know you love them. It's really something. Elephants are great. This elephant let me kiss her I was in the river up to my head and swimming with her, and she let me kiss her face, and I was on top of her giving her shampoo and rolled over on the river, and she just was so loving and kind to me. I never had a second of fear ever, ever, ever.
were you always like an exotic animal whisperer? When did it
Yeah.
all start for you? From the time you were little, like
Yeah,
you
I've
know,
always just loved animals, and since my grandma gave me a big gigantic Donald Duck when I was a child, I've always wanted to be with animals and birds. And it's from when I was 3 years old, and my duck fell in the toilet. Listen, this one duck called Fluffy, she fell in the toilet, and my parents were horrified, and they took her out and they bought me a new one. I said, no, I want Fluffy. I don't want the new. I want Fluffy. And so they had to wash her a few times and give her back to me, even though but I'm really into I love animals, and I think that got me to love birds, and that's never changed. I feed the ducks in the park and all the time, and I'm just really into pigeons.
you do really well with ducks. So when you were little, I imagine you like feeding the ducks coming around you, and there's this
Yeah,
aura
animals,
in your
and they
phone.
love me because they know I love them. Animals know it; they feel you. It's an aura. It's a whole other thing. That's why I called the movie Animal Magnetism, my second
Right.
feature film, because I believe that some people have animal magnetism, others don't. If they don't like animals,
Yeah.
they probably don't have animal magnetism because the animal can feel and they're not going to be attracted to them. But people like you and your dog, obviously you and your wife love animals, and they
Yeah.
can feel that, and then you have that magnetism. They're attracted to you. And that's why I'm not
You're
afraid of
absolutely right.
animals at all. Not at all.
Ain't it funny how like sometimes you'll be carrying some weight on you, meaning the world's weight on your shoulders, so to speak, the burden. Then the dogs and animals tend to pick up on that. They know when you feel somewhat upset about something, or
They
there's
do.
nothing on, they can pick up and they can sense it pretty well from afar off, just how they can sense when you're coming home.
And I have scenes like that in my movies. I have scenes in The Peril of Pauline, which is coming in October. You'll see there's a scene where Cassie absolutely freaks out. I won't spoil it for you. But she totally freaks out, and she's really freaked out and crying. And she ends up at a psychiatrist the next day. But that night she's cuddled with her bird, and her bird is kissing her and kissing her. And the bird feels it. Even as an actress, this bird feels it. When I'm playing a character and I'm supposed to be upset, she comes and she knows what to do. She knows. And she's a great actress, really.
So yeah, you are. Cassie, you're part. So your character's what, part blogger, part Dolly Parton? Yeah.
Well, so yeah, I'm a Dolly Parton wannabe, and I talk like that the whole time in the movie. Yeah, so she's from, and my family, half my family's from Nashville, from the South. So I do have that ability to go into that character really easily. And she was actually she was reincarnated from a French woman, by the way. But I speak French, so that accent's really easy for me too. But you were saying, yeah. So I've always loved Dolly Parton. I love her a lot, and I love her music, and I love her charity, everything about her. She's very soulful, and I kind of idolize her. So for me, it was really easy to play a Dolly Parton wannabe. I'm writing songs, and I wrote a song, and I'm trying to sing it, but my music teacher gets murdered. I'm not going to say more because I will destroy. I don't want to be a spoiler for my own.
We're still going to go see it. Don't worry.
Yeah, but I'm trying to sing. I tell him I really worship Dolly Parton, but the only problem is I can't sing. But I am singing in this movie, but I can't sing. But in my own stupid voice, I am singing the song, which becomes the story of the movie in a way. It's unrequited love, and it kind of becomes in a way the actual story by the end of the movie. You'll see. I don't want to spoil it.
It's beautiful.
Yeah,
I love it. And let me ask you this: So growing up, obviously you liked her a lot in real life, right?
I did what?
In real life, you really liked her. You looked up to her. You liked Dolly Parton.
Oh, I've always I really like her.
You've been infatuated with her music. She's great, isn't she?
She's wonderful.
She's so jovial too.
She's very generous and kind and everything.
And jovial. She looks great,
Isn't
for her.
She fantastic?
Yeah, she's fantastic. So let's talk about Rainbow. Baby Rainbow plays a big, huge role in the story, right? What was it like thinking with Baby Rainbow? I mean, it's just
this particular story, she gets kidnapped by the Russian mob. I'll say that because it's in the advertising. But she does get kidnapped by the head of the Russian mob. They want to use her as leverage against me to try to figure something out and find something that they think I have, And it's pretty wild and funny. And of course, if you see the trailer to the movie, you probably know a little more.
I did see some of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So it breaks my heart when they take Baby, Rainbow, and it's but it's how she, I don't want to say anything at the end and how, I don't want to spoil the movie, but I tend to talk much, so I try to keep my.
Great though, sure, no problem. We're gonna go see it, and definitely, it's gonna be premiering at the Cinema Village in New York.
Yeah,
theater. That's huge. How do you feel
really
about
an iconic theater? I'm sorry, what?
How do you feel about it?
I'm so thrilled. I can't believe how thrilled. I feel so lucky to be there. And it's just beautiful, and it's in a beautiful neighborhood, and a beautiful place, and it's just really excited. And they're going to have 4 shows a day, and it's a big theater, 155 seats. So I hope everyone in the world that sees this is going to come.
So for like more serious projects, right? Like ETs Among Us and films like Eye View, Bird's Eye View, and that sort of thing. What made you want to step into a more sort of playful, campy style with this new film?
Well, actually, because I kind of always played like clown parts in summer camps and in boarding school and stuff. But the thing is that at this point, it was just so easy for me. It's hard for me to be like, I've always loved murder mysteries and psychological thrillers, but I've never been good at, writing that. To me, it always ends up coming out funny. I can't help myself. So when I try to do that kind of a movie, it always comes out funny. So for me, also to play a serious character is hard for me. Now, I do have a movie coming out, but it's a secret. I can't. After the third one in the trilogy, which will be next year, I have another one I wrote, which is top secret right now. But that's a really serious movie, and it's personal. It's based on some stuff, and it is really serious. And I'm just hoping I can come up to the plate and do it. That I can do it and not be too comical in it, because I'm going to try to be really serious if I can carry it off.
Well, listen, you ever heard of the whole thing of like comedy is a serious business?
That's a good line. I agree with you. I think it is. And a lot of comedy though comes out of tragedy. A lot of comedy comes out of heavy stuff. And most comedians are very serious people. In fact, I've known some and in my life and they're very serious people.
Super serious. So, people
right?
Are amazed to know alcoholics, a lot of alcoholism, some addiction and tough lives, tough upbringing.
True. Right.
And I just interviewed a couple of comedians, and Scruncho was one of them. Scruncho, he was friends with Cat Williams, and a bunch of other guys came up in old school 80s films and wilding out with MTV's Well and Out. Nick Cannon, I believe, was the host, and he was amazing. This guy was telling stories, and now he gets paid as a result of all the malarkey and all the craziness that happened to him growing up and the selling dope and all that stuff. It's wild. The whole thing,
Wow.
yeah. But it all turns into comedy. It's gold. It's comedy
Right.
gold.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You
it
have
really
to take
is.
the bad experiences
Yeah.
and make them into something good. And I always find that if I take, rather than going to a shrink, my therapy is to take a bad experience and make a movie out of it, a comedy. Like I really did have a wheelchair stalker. I'm telling you, this movie is about a wheelchair stalker who's a serial killer. In my movie, I had a wheelchair stalker. Okay, and he was
Are
going
you screwing with us? Really?
What? It's true.
You're
I swear
screwing
to
with
God.
me.
Huh?
In a
What?
wheelchair?
Yeah, a wheelchair stalker, and he was very fresh, impolite, and he was stalking me all through my neighborhood. And when I'd go to a restaurant, he'd literally wheel himself into the restaurant and come and touch me at the table. And he was very dirty, filthy, on the street all day long. And this filthy man would come, and I was so freaked out by that I said, instead of doing anything against him, which I don't want to do, is I'm gonna write a comedy about it. He's gonna be a serial killer. And I made up my mind to do that. And then I started this comedy about it, and it just rolled into all these other things about crashed UFO in Siberia and all these different things, anti-gravity devices, and Bob Lazar and all these people that are idols of mine, that
Bob
physicist
Lazar, wow.
and all these different things. He was involved with the UFO underground, bases.
Sure.
And so all
That's
these
why
different
Joe
things that I know
Rogan.
my whole life, I put in various parts of this movie as part of the story. And it really is hilarious. It honestly is. I can't even watch it myself without, laughing at the scenes.
You
And
know
everybody.
Bob Lazar on a first name basis? You guys close?
Well, I don't know him personally. No, I don't.
Yeah.
And I put another name in the movie, so he does. I don't want him to be
Right.
upset. But I mean, it really is the people making the movie. When we're shooting these movies, the crew is cracking up. Everyone's cracking up. We can barely keep a straight face when we're shooting these movies. It's like it
Let
really
me ask you this. How do you feel that your films are seen in 183 countries? Like, that's nuts.
Well, that blew my mind that happened. I didn't even know. But my distributor, luckily for whatever, they ended up in all these different countries. And I didn't realize it until I started, my producer actually started reading on the dashboard of the distributor company and started seeing that our movies were in all these places. We couldn't believe it. I was completely shocked and blown away. Huh?
Insane. I'm taken aback,
I get
right?
letters from all over the world from people. I do. I get letters and emails.
That's interesting.
And on Messenger and stuff and Facebook from people who have seen my stuff and just love it. People that were never believed, that were abducted by aliens, and that no one ever believed them. And then they saw my series and all these other witnesses and these experts saying it's all true. And because of that, I ended up getting these, wonderful letters that these people were so helped by it and inspired by it.
Wow.
I'll tell you another crazy one. Should I tell you one more crazy?
Yes, more stories.
I was on the phone with this big company trying to get a refund for something. And you know how they have these wonderful representatives from all over the world, Thailand, from Philippines, India, South Africa. And this one guy was from India. And when he heard my name, knew who I was, he told me this story. And I was just almost in tears because I was trying to just return a shirt or something. And here I hear this story about how his life was changed from the movie Bird's Eye View. Now, my first movie I ever did was Bird's Eye View. And that was about a bird that was abducted by aliens, and a little girl was abducted, a child, and the child was brought back, but the bird was never brought back. But there was another bird. She had two birds. One of them was Baby Rainbow. One was Baby Rainbow's brother. Baby Rainbow's brother ended up in the freezer. He ended up, being kept by the aliens for many years, and then her military father got him back. But that's another story in another movie. But the reason I'm telling you is that this movie was about how this alien who was communicating psychically, which is to me the most incredible thing about aliens, is that they're totally psychic and they communicate without talking. And this alien was
telepathic kind of thing.
Yeah, with this incredibly spiritual, beautiful man, and they were always communicating. And he said, and the alien said to him, "You humans complain about us abducting you. How do you treat life on your own planet? Look, let me show you." And he hands him this crystal, which I actually have. I still have it in my house. It's a broken piece. It's a beautiful thing, piece of glass, light green glass. And inside it he puts all of the things we do to animals, factory farms, all this stuff. I tell you, children were crying when they watched the movie. That I really had to tone it a little down because it showed all the cruelty that we do to animals on our planet in so many different ways. You know, I won't even go into them all, but I'm sure you know and people know what we do.
Firsthand.
It's so horrible and horrific. And so this boy was in India, and when he heard my name, he remembered that he had seen my movie Bird's Eye View as a child. Somehow someone had it in India. I don't know how it got there, if it was on YouTube, whatever. And he said that he learned so much about how you should treat animals from the movie when he was a kid, and it meant so much to him. And he saw it at a campfire. I mean, someone showed him at a campfire. An older person, a counselor, was showing these children this movie. And so what happened was later on he saw an accident on a highway that a truck had hit two little puppies. And he ran up to the highway. He rescued these two puppies, and they are still his dogs today. Can you believe it? I have chills telling you the story. I was crying. They are still his dogs today. And he saved the lives after he saw my movie Bird's Eye View. So that meant more to me than anything I've ever heard from an audience person. You know, really.
Yeah, I'll say it sounds like it's touching, you know, especially when you affect the lives of people that in such a way, such a marvelous way
to influence people in a good way, right?
Yeah. Now you speak what, 6, 7 languages? How does that help you connect with the rest of the world?
Well, because I have an ear for that. It's my one little particular thing that's easy for me to do. And so like, I know I can just pick up a language like in a day or two if I go to a country. So like I can start to talk. I hear the accent. So I took Latin in school.
Move out Rosetta Stone, right?
Yeah, right. No, but I don't know. It's so easy for me to pick up languages, you know, really, and to hear the accents. So, I mean, it's not that I can speak perfectly in a day, but in a day I already get some ideas. And then when I hear certain things and I can figure out how to conjugate a verb or do declensions, which I learned in Latin, how to do things so that you can speak in good grammar. And once I learned in Latin in school, junior high school, then I started to extrapolate from that, and then I could make more, logic when I learn a new language. So when I'd hear a word and I have a good ear for it, then I would figure out how to put it in a sentence, and I would manipulate the 7 words I would learn the first day. And then the second day, maybe 15, 20 words, I would manipulate them to make sense. So I wouldn't necessarily, I could talk a little tiny bit, but I don't ever understand what people are saying to me. So what would happen is when I'm in a taxi and I'm speaking Greek to a Greek cab driver in New York, they always go, oh, and then they start talking to me like a mile a minute in Greek. I say, wait a minute, I don't understand a word you say. Well, what do you mean? You speak Greek. How can you tell me you don't understand? I say, I may be able to talk to you because I know like 300 words or 200 words, but you know thousands and I can't understand what you're saying. So it's crazy. I can understand a little bit, but not the way I can speak. So it's interesting. I do speak these languages, but I understand, let's say French, I can understand Italian and Portuguese a little bit, and now Greek a little bit more. But when it comes to, and Spanish a little bit, but it's just not as much as I can talk because I can imitate. That's the thing.
You can learn Spanish in a couple of days. I'll tell you how. Watch Telemundo. Back to back. Telemundo. NBC. Telemundo. Back to back.
Really? So you learn to speak Spanish from watching? That's great. Really?
I speak perfect Spanish. I lived in Mexico City.
I believe you. You obviously have a good ear too, right? You do. Because if you can learn it from that.
My family's in the music business. Yeah, I kind of do.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, you should work on Italian and other languages. It's fun.
Yeah, my wife's half Italian.
Is she half Italian?
My godmother spoke perfect Italian. She was not Italian, which I guess she must have been married to, or she just picked it up in New York.
But the thing is also, I have a friend who doesn't speak English and she only speaks Spanish. So I had to learn Spanish to talk with her because she just doesn't speak English. So now I do speak Spanish with her and she understands every word I say. I can't believe it. And I understand maybe a quarter of what she says, but we communicate. It's good.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's lovely. I love that you speak all those languages and you pick them up quite fast.
Well, people like you a lot more if you do. Like if you go to Greece, I went to Greece and I shot a movie in 27 locations in Greece, Bird's Eye View, all over Greece in different islands and in mountains and places. But it was the fact that I spoke Greek, that I had bothered to learn their language, that made them like me more, and they were more hospitable to me, and they were willing to give me their locations and help me with my shooting and everything. So it helped me
I can't imagine anybody not being hospitable to you.
You're very sweet.
All around, it's just a sweet, kind of graceful way you carry yourself,
Oh,
and
you're so sweet. Oh my
yeah,
God, thank
I
you.
mean that. It's so great. It's easy to talk to you. I feel
Thank
like I've
you.
known you forever.
And it's easy to talk to you too, Jim, by the way. You're great. It's true. You're,
I've
you're
done,
great.
this is my third show in less than 3 hours.
Oh, you must be tired now, right?
Not well until I came upon you, because you have this magnetic, it's like this persona that just are you on like this active all day?
I'm
Like,
always like this one. Honey, you mean I have animal magnetism? Is that what you're saying? That's good. That's good.
that's great. I love that. Have
When
you
my,
ever
my bird,
give me the
what's that?
craziest story you've ever encountered? Like when you're out in the wild, what's one of the craziest stories you've ever encountered in your
Okay,
travels?
I'll tell you the crazy one. Okay, so I'm out in the wild in Thailand and I'm shooting a movie. Now, at that time, I was funding it myself. I had no money from my parents, weren't giving me anything. And I had to go and figure out how to fly to Thailand with my lead actor and shoot. And I had no crew, just me. So I shot, believe it or not, and nobody believes it because I was a tennis player, a tournament player, and I have really good balance. I don't smoke or drink, so I don't shake at all. So I shot that whole movie handheld camera, and nobody believes me, but it's true. It really is true. It looks like it was shot on a tripod.
Are you serious?
I swear to God on my life. But wait till you hear this. If I didn't shoot, if I was in a scene, the other actor would shoot. There's no establishing shot because there's no cameraman. So I would shoot him, he would shoot me, I would shoot him, he would shoot me. And that's how I did the whole movie. Now, wait to hear this. So we had a scene and I was supposed to be feeding an elephant. So I found an elephant on this big sanctuary with a lot of elephants. And I went and I brought these pineapple leaves to feed this huge elephant I found alone in a field. I'm feeding the elephant. And suddenly, like I'm doing the scene, I'm feeding the elephant, and my friend is shooting me doing this big, heavy woman, like huge woman, comes running out screaming, get out of there, get out of there. And I, what's wrong? She told me that was a killer elephant, an absolutely known killer elephant, that I had no right to be anywhere in that field or near that elephant. I had been shooting with that elephant already for 20 or 25 minutes, and holding that elephant, talking to the elephant, feeding it leaves, and it was like, love me. And she said she was hysterical. They took the elephant away and they brought another elephant. I had to do the again, scene over again. That was the wildest thing.
Holy mother God, that is crazy. I love that story.
I'm just not afraid of animals.
Have you ever swam with like alligators or been around the alligators?
You saw the picture of me with the alligator in my arms on that's a baby alligator. Yeah. No, not a grown up. Only a baby, not a grown up. No, I'm scared of alligators. I have to be honest. That is not my thing. But I was with baby alligator. You saw that, right? Yes, and the snake around my neck. Did you see that? That's the poster for animal magnetism. Yeah. But not a big alligator. No. That's.
Do you own? Yeah. Aside of rainbow, do you own any other exotic animals? Like, do you have a tiger at home or?
No. No, but baby has a pet tiger. She has a few. She has a tiger, a panda bear, a bunny rabbit, and I think some other animals. And she has her mirror with it. Oh, she loves her mirror. Check it out. She's in love with her mirror.
She is. She's so vain.
Oh, she's so vain. All day long, she looks in the mirror and says hi to herself. You see? There she is.
Wow.
Yeah, she's in love with herself. Aren't you, baby? Are you the prettiest birdie? Are you the prettiest birdie, baby? Are you? Yes, you are. You see? Did you see her nodding?
Yeah.
She's the prettiest birdie, and she knows it. Yes, baby. Did you see her nod?
Yeah.
She knows she's the prettiest birdie. She's my diva.
You made my day. You made my day. You really did. You guys made my day.
Thank you so
fantastic.
much.
What a way to close off the show.
You made ours. You made our day.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely
reciprocal. I have to ask you, when are you guys going to premiere your film out here in LA?
Oh, I hope I can do it somehow.
You got to talk to some theaters, right? I could try to. We could talk.
Yes,
because I know some people.
With me. Do you have my email? Do you have a way to? Can
you
reach through my PR lady, the lady?
Yeah, I'll talk to Nicole, and then we'll figure something out.
Yeah, I bet she'd be thrilled if we could come out there. I would love to come out there.
Yeah.
I'd love to. But Baby Rainbow will have to have somebody give us a private jet because they won't let her on the airplane in the cabin, I don't think. And I'm not putting her under there. So we have to
We have
figure
to
out.
arrange for that and see if
I
I
got
have any connections
to
from
get
my.
her out to LA. And then I'll definitely come. And she could be at the premiere. Wouldn't that be cool?
I'm gonna try to look out, see if I know anybody that has a jet. I think I know a few because I used to be a limo driver. I drove Elizabeth Taylor when I was the very youngest.
Wow, that's amazing. That's
Yeah,
amazing. So
yeah, good
if
story.
you can think of anybody who could get Baby out there, I will come. I will definitely come out there. And tell Nicole that you think it's a great idea.
Yeah, let's see. We'll figure something out. Let's see. It would be great to come out here, and I'm sure it would be quite a treat, to extend out. Do you think? One last question for you. I mean, I like this kind of non-conventional way of going straight to the theaters, right? It's kind of
Yeah.
how you work. I love that, by the way. Do you
But,
think that's kind of the future where we're going specifically?
well, no, I
Because
mean, this is the first time I'm doing it because, right? I decided to just because everything was going to streaming. I thought so. I went to this thing, CinemaCon, and I tried to find out, how to go straight to a theater because
that's
I
cool.
thought, why not? Why not do that, right? Because I don't
Yeah.
even have an agent or anything. I mean, I just do everything on my own. I'm kind of an outlier. Is that what the word is? I'm kind of a renegade. What's the word?
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
kind of done. I've done it on my own with no manager, no agent, nobody yet. I just did it all.
You march to the beat of your own drum. I love it.
Yeah.
You do things. I'm kind of the same way. I think people like that, we tend to we never take no for an answer, so we'll figure it out.
Right.
You make a way. If there's no way, you pry your way in. I love it. I love
There's
to.
no way what? There's no. What did you say? There's no way what?
If there's no way, you make a way. If you can't make one, you pry your way.
Pry one open. Absolutely. I like that.
It's been nothing but a pleasure. Can you share real quick with the audience members or viewership your social media handles?
Sure. You mean
your social media. How can we find you?
Well, Babies is at Baby Rainbow, baby_rainbow on Instagram. I also have Cybela Clare, all one word, on Instagram. They know how to spell it, right? You put it on your thing. Do they know how to spell it? Or they know, right?
Oh, yeah, here.
CybelaClaire.com is my website, CybelaClaire.com. And on my website, there are all the ways to find tickets on Fandango to the opening of the movie, because it'll say it all on the website. It's a big website. It's got all my movies, like a lot of my movies. It's got trailers to at least 16 or 18 of my movies. So you can see the trailers and everything that you want from all my movies. And a lot of my movies are also on Tubi. Am I allowed to say that?
Tubi. I love Tubi.
Yeah, I have 11 movies.
Whatever you like on this platform. It's fantastic. You can say anything you want except fuck you.
Okay, so am I allowed to say? Okay, so I have some still on Amazon. I have 11 movies on Tubi, and I have stuff on Gaia. I mean, I have stuff all over. Yeah. So, but it's all it's on my website, and I'm on IMDb under my name, and so they'll see a lot of stuff. Is that what you wanted? And I'm also on Instagram, right? I told you. Cybela Clare is also on Instagram. I have a lot of stuff on there. So
I love it. Cybela, thank you so much. Cybela Clare, ladies and gentlemen.
And Baby Rainbow. Say bye, baby. Come on, baby.
Bye, Baby
Say
Rainbow.
Bye, baby. Say bye, baby.
Bye. That's my show. Thank you so much.
Thank you for inviting us.
Nothing but a pleasure.
We loved it. We both loved it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do this again when the trilogy is done. Take care.
Bye-bye. Thank you so much.
Bye now.
Bye.